Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of current updates. So, again, me and Ananya are here to talk about a new topic. I hope all of you have watched our previous sessions on current updates. If you haven't yet, please do, because previously we have talked about a wide range of topics, starting from award winning books to Kashmiri novelists, then LGBTQ South Asian writers and works. Then we have talked about writers of the Northeast. And today we have come with a new topic again. So, Ananya, would you like to share with them that what topic we are talking about today?
Yes, so we are talking about travel writing, and I really
Yes,
can't wait to see what we learn today.
right. So today we will be talking about a new genre, not a new genre, a new topic, uh, that is travel writing. And before we start the session today, congratulations to all of you who have qualified WB set. And those who couldn't for a few marks, please don't feel disheartened. There's always a second time, and please prepare uh, more, and please don't feel upset. And my heartiest congratulations to all of you from Team Vallath. Congrats that you worked so hard and you have qualified WB set. And for those who couldn't, please don't feel upset. There's always a second time. Work harder, and next time you will surely crack it. Right, Ananya?
Right.
Okay. So, without further ado, let's get started with our presentations today. So, I will share my screen. Okay. So, our topic for today is travel writing. Today, we will be talking about travel writing. So, at first, let's try to understand what is travel writing, what is different about travel writing, what does it entail, what does it talk about. So, travel writing. It's a neglected yet a much varied genre of great antiquity to which many famous professional or full time writers have contributed, but which has also been enriched by a few occasional writers. For the most part, there have been diplomats, scholars, missionaries, soldiers of fortune, doctors, explorers, and sailors who have contributed to this genre of travel writing. This genre mostly consists of works of exploration and adventure, as well as guides and accounts of sojourns in foreign lands. You know, these works are triggered by this urge to explore the unknown, right? Some of the earliest records of travels come from Egypt. For instance, an anonymous 14th century record known as the Journeying of the Master of the Captains of Egypt. From China, we have early accounts of travels in India by Fa Hian and Shaman Huili, of journeys in the Far East. A notable Arabian traveler was Ibn Battuta, who for 28 years traveled around the Far East India, Africa, South Russia, Egypt, Spain, and elsewhere, and who in 1354 compiled a copious description of his journeys. So, this genre of the travel writing is fueled by the desire of man to explore the unknown and to bring those accounts before the readers, before the world. So, what does this genre entail? What does it bring with itself? So, the accounts which we have talked about, like that of Ibn Battuta or other Chinese travelers, Arabian travelers, there's only a handful of the many accounts or of the many travelers who, in classical times, in the Middle Ages, and during the Renaissance period, explored the then known world and opened up the unknown. Because from the time of Renaissance onwards, there was this urge in people to go beyond the known and explore all the corners of the earth. And from that urge started the project of colonialism, right? So from 16th century onwards, the Near East, the Middle East, and the Far East, Asia, and parts of Africa, these parts of earth were increasingly explored and hence colonized by the Europeans. And the world of the Americas was gradually charted. As the world became more navigable, so travel books of every kind proliferated. So this was just meant to be a brief introduction on What do we mean by travel writing? What does this consist of? And what can we expect from this genre? So now we will look at some travel books which have defined the genre and explored the unknown. So let's get started. Here is the first question. Ananya, would you please like to read this?
A tour through the whole island of Great Britain is an account of travels by which of the following writers? Is it a Daniel Defoe, Montagu, Great Britain? This is written by which of the following writers?
Right. So, a
Whole
tour
island
to
of
the
Great
whole
Britain.
island of Great Britain. It's an account of travels by whom? Is it Daniel Defoe, Jonathan Swift, Joseph Addison, or Richard Sheridan? Guys, who wrote this work? A tour through the whole island of Great Britain. Any idea? We will, after we get to know the answer, we will talk about both the writer and the work. Okay, so many are saying Swift, many are saying Daniel Defoe. Ananya, what do you think? Who is the writer of this travelogue?
I think it is Daniel Defoe.
Okay,
By the image
let's
only, I'm saying.
yes, let's check out. It is indeed Daniel Defoe who wrote this travelogue, a tour through the whole island of Great Britain. So this title itself is self-explanatory, and it talks about how this travelogue actually talks about the island of Great Britain. So let's look at this work. So it is indeed Daniel Defoe who wrote this work. He was a prominent writer of the 18th century. Uh, a tour through the whole island of Great Britain. It's an account of his travels by English author Daniel Defoe, first published in 3 volumes between 1724 and 27. This book, the tour, it's roughly divided into several tours or circuits around Britain. The volume 1 contains 3 letters. The first 2 letters talk about places of Wessex, Colchester, Harwich, Suffolk, Norfolk, and Cambridgeshire, and through Kent coast, Maidstone, Canterbury, Sussex, Hampshire, and Surrey. These are complete circuits both beginning and ending in London. Again, the letter 3 here describes a journey out to Land's End, while letter 4 starts volume 2 with the journey back. Again, letter 5 focuses on London and the court. Then volume 2 ends with letters 6 and 7 describing a path out to Anglesey and back. Finally, the volume 3, we see the narrator, the who begins at the Trent or the Mersey and slowly travels northwards from the Midlands, taking up letters 8 through 10. And here Scotland is divided into 3 convenient units for letters 11 and 13. So this is the division of this huge work, while Defoe has talked about the entire island of Great Britain and how he has explored each and every part of this place. Clear? Okay. Next question. Ananya, will you please read this?
The Turkish embassy letters are a letter collection of Dash on her travels through the Ottoman Empire between 1716 and 1718. Is it Fanny Burney, Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, Lady Mary Roth, or Sarah Josepha Hale? So this is between 1716 and 1718, and the work is one by one of these female writers.
Guys, any idea who wrote the Turkish embassy letters? It's a very important work in the genre of travel writing. So, any idea who wrote this? Ananya, any idea? One
I
clue
think
is
it's
this
one of the Lady
writer.
Mary.
Yes, this writer was there during the 18th century, during the time of
Mm.
Pope, Alexander Pope. Okay, Shravani is saying it is Lady Mary Wortley Montagu. Let's check it out. Yes, it is indeed Lady Mary Wortley Montagu. And please have a look at the full title. The full title is Letters of the Honorable Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, written during her travels in Europe, Asia, and Africa, to persons of distinction, men of letters and company, in different parts of Europe, which contain, among other curious relations, accounts of the policy and manners of the Turks. So, this entire title of the work itself gives us so much information. Firstly, these letters have been written by Lady Mary Wortley Montagu about her travels to Europe, Asia, and Africa. And here he also talks about the Turks, the Turkish people. So it's very important always to know the full titles. The titles often give us so much information, so much insight into what a work entails, right? Okay, so now let's get to know more about the writer and the work. So Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, she was an English aristocrat, medical pioneer, writer, and poet. Her work, the Turkish embassy letters, consist of 58 letters addressed to friends and relatives from various places of their journey. 22 letters here describe their travels in Europe on the way to Turkey, and 27 of them were written from Turkey in Adrianople or Constantinople, and 9 are from their return journey. So almost most of the letters were written in Europe. And Montague's descriptions of Turkey garnered the most attention, especially her descriptions of the women only spaces, such as Bath. So it's a varied work. Here she talks about many things. She talks about Euro, the Turkish people, and she pays attention to certain spaces in Turkey which are only visited by women, like a bathing space. So there's so many things are going on here. She talks about this politics of space visited by women. She talks about their culture, their manners, their policies, right? So it's a wonderful work to look at. Next, Ananya, will you please read?
The Voyage of the Beagle is a vivid travel memoir as well as a detailed scientific field journal covering biology, geology, and anthropology by which of the following writers? Is it John Ruskin, Charles Darwin, Thomas Carlyle, or Herbert Spencer? I think Voyage of the Beagle is a travel memoir and a scientific field journal. So we have a clue there.
Exactly. There is the clue in the question itself, right? Okay, so Sunanda, Prashanjit, Surpassing NP, all of them are saying it's Darwin. It is indeed Darwin, the voyage of the Beagle. So, as we all know, Charles Darwin, he was an English naturalist, geologist, and biologist, widely known for his contributions to evolutionary biology. The Voyage of the Beagle is the title given to the book written by Charles Darwin and published in 1839 as his Journal and Remarks, bringing him considerable fame and respect. This was the third volume, The Voyage of the Beagle. This work is actually the third volume of the narrative of voyages of HM ships, Adventure and Beagle, the other volumes of which were written or edited by the commanders of the ships. Journal and Remarks covers Darwin's part in the second survey expedition of the ship HMS Beagle. So the name of the ship is Beagle, and that's why the Voyage of the Beagle. Okay. Due to the popularity of Darwin's account, the publisher reissued it later in 1839 as Darwin's Journal of Researches, and the revised second edition, published in 1845, used this title. A republication of the book in 1905 introduced the title The Voyage of the Beagle, by which it is now best known. And please know that this Beagle is the ship through which the voyages took place. All right? Okay. Ananya, will you please read this?
An Area of Darkness is a travelogue detailing a trip through India in the early 60s by which of the following writers? Sham Selvadurai, Sam Selvin, V.S. Naipaul, or Rohinton Mystery. The work's name is An Area of Darkness. It is a travelogue and it details a trip through India in the early 60s. So, which of these writers talked about India in the early 60s and as a travelogue, An Area of Darkness? I think most of us would be knowing the answer. Let's see what our friends are saying.
Rabni, Shweta, Shinanda. So everyone is saying it is V.S. Naipaul. It is indeed V.S. Naipaul who wrote this work in Area of Darkness. So as we all know, V.S. Naipaul was a Trinidadian-born British writer. An Area of Darkness is a book written by V.S. Naipaul in 1964. And it's a travelogue detailing Naipaul's trip through India in the early 60s. It was the first of Naipaul's acclaimed Indian trilogy that includes India, a Wounded Civilization, and India, a Million Mutinies Now. So, these three works, An Area of Darkness, India, a Wounded Civilization, and India, a Million Mutinies Now. These three works constitute the Indian trilogy of V.S. Naipaul. And here the narration is anecdotal and it's descriptive. It describes India through V.S. Naipaul's eyes. Widely considered a passionate but pessimistic work, An Area of Darkness conveys the sense of disillusionment which the author experiences on his first visit to India in the 60s, marked with poverty and corruption. So the India which we see in Naipaul's work is not a India which is all glorified. It's not an India which is brimming with heritage and cultural values. It's an India which is a dark, which is marked by poverty, suffering, starvation, and corruption. So here he has not presented a very glorious picture of our country. Here he has presented the dark underbelly of this country, the underbelly which is suffering from poverty, starvation, corruption, right? So this book was banned in India for its negative portrayal of India and its people. So please note, this book was banned in India for the negative portrayal of India and its people. The book is also considered Naipaul's reckoning with his ancestral homeland and a sharp chronicle of his travels through India of the 60s, encountering distressing poverty in the slums, corrupt government workers in the cities, to the ethereal beauty of the Himalayas covering a vast canvas of the subcontinent. So he has talked about a wide range of topics. Again, not only poverty and corruption, but he has also touched about the topics like the beauty of the Himalayas and the vastness of this subcontinent of India, right? Okay. So Ananya, will you please read the next question? Ananya, you are on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sea and Sardinia is a travel book by the English writer Dash. Graham Greene, Cecil de Lewis, D.H. Lawrence, or Aldous Huxley. Sea and Sardinia is the book's name, travel book, and it is by one of the following English writers. Either Graham Greene, Cecil de Lewis, D.H. Lawrence, or Aldous Huxley.
So guys, who wrote this
I
travel book? Sea and Sardinia. Sea and Sardinia. It's a travel book by whom? Any ideas? Okay, Shravani, Ravi, they are saying it is, okay, Shravani saying Lawrence, D.H. Lawrence. Ravi and Fluffy, the fluff ball, Cecil de Lewis. Prashanjit is saying Lawrence. So let's see. It is by D.H. Lawrence. See the cover book, the cover, it's so beautiful. D.H. Lawrence's Sea and Sardinia. Okay, so we know about D.H. Lawrence quite well. He was an English novelist, and this work, let's talk about this particular work, Sea and Sardinia. So, written after the First World War, when he was living in Sicily, this book, Sea and Sardinia, records Lawrence's journey to Sardinia and back in January 1921. It reveals his response to a new landscape and people and his ability to transmute the spirit of place into literary art. Like his other travel writings, the book is also a shrewd inquiry into the political and social values of an era which saw the rise of communism and fascism. So, here in this work, he intertwines his ideas of traveling along with politics. How the rise of politics is affecting his views of traveling as well, his ideas of a particular landscape as well. On one level, an indictment of contemporary materialism, Sea and Sardinia is nevertheless an optimistic book, celebrating the creativity of the human spirit and seeking in the fundamental laws which governed human nature in the past fresh inspiration for the present. This 1997 edition restores censored passages and corrects corrupt textual readings to reveal for the first time the book Lawrence himself called a marvel of veracity. So, guys, please remember this book, Sea and Sardinia, it was called as a marvel of veracity. Veracity means truthfulness. Veracity means truthfulness. He called this travelogue a marvel of veracity. All right. Please remember, D.H. Lawrence has written many travelogues. He has written many travel books. Sea and Sardinia is only one of them. Please do look up other travel writings by Lawrence. All right. Next, will you please read this, Ananya?
Maximum City, Bombay Lost and Found is a narrative non-fiction book by Dash. It was published in 2004 and it is about the Indian city of Mumbai, as you can see in the image. Is it either K.A. Abbas, Jerry Pinto, Suketu Mehta, or none of the above? The narrative non-fiction book called Maximum City, Bombay Lost and Found. I think it's not by K.A. Abbas, and let's see what our friends are also answering.
Yes. Guys, what do you think? Okay.
They know it. That's
Yes,
so
they're saying it
brilliant.
is Suketu Mehta. Let's check it out. Yes, it is indeed by Suketu Mehta. So, Suketu Mehta is a New York based author of Indian descent. A native of Bombay, Suketu Mehta gives us an insider's view of this stunning metropolis. He approaches the city from unexpected angles, taking us into the criminal underworld. So he's taking us into the criminal underworld of rival Muslim and Hindu gangs, following the life of a bar dancer raised amid poverty and abuse, opening the door into the inner sanctums of Bollywood, and delving into the stories of the countless villagers who come in search of a better life and end up living on the sidewalks in Mumbai. So, for many, Bombay is a myth. It's a place of success and also suffering. So, yes, for many, it's a place of success. There is Bollywood, there is the glamorous world of Bollywood movie. So, it's a place both of success and suffering as well. So, how this place juxtaposes this both? Suketu Mehta talks about it. As each individual story unfolds, Mehta also recounts his own efforts to make a home in Bombay after more than 20 years abroad. Candid, impassioned, funny, and heartrending, Maximum City is a revelation of an ancient and ever-changing world. Because Bombay is an ever-changing place. It's never static. And Suketu Mehta talks about Bombay from a very new perspective. It talks about a place which is both an abode of success and also suffering for many. So, with that ends our presentation for today. I hope you guys liked the presentation. And this session was just meant to be an introduction to this genre of travel writing. And we tried to introduce some of the very important travelogues across the years, starting from 18th century onwards till the very modern times. So please do let us know in the comments if you guys like the discussion, if you guys like the topics we are talking about, and if you have any special request for any topic you want us to discuss on current update session on Thursdays, please do let us know. We can work on that topics and we can have a session on that topics on Thursdays of current updates. And if you guys like the video, please do hit the like button and share it with your friends. And again, congratulations to everyone who cracked WB set today. A huge congratulations to all of you from Team Vallath. And those who couldn't, please don't feel disheartened. There is always a second time. Please don't feel sad. And again, congrats to everyone who passed, who cracked. Ananya, would you like to wish them?
Uh, yes, congratulations to all my friends and our students at Vallath who have cracked it. And if not, really close and better things await. So don't fret, okay? And Ankita, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I, it was a really, we read about these writers, but we don't realize so much until we discuss things like these. There's minor writings, the travel writings. I had no idea about Charles Darwin's works, and it brings so much more to all of us. I really want to thank you to from all our YouTube friends also. So thanks.
All right. So, yes, congrats everyone. And if you guys want to see us discussing any specific topic on current updates, please do let us know in the comments. We will work on that topic and we will have a session on that. On every Thursday, we are doing current updates. So, and if you like the video, please do hit the like button, share it with your friends, and we will be back again tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for staying with us. Bye.